Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. Sorry that it's been such a long hiatus, but that's pretty much a good rhythm for me in terms of when I get towards the end of the year, our church ramps up with lots of things that we have going on and our Christmas services, and so I end up usually taking a couple months off and then I reset at the top of the year. So here I am, and we're going to start with a song called I Belong to Jesus by Bethel Music. So I'm gonna, right now it's on chorus 1 and you probably hear some harmony, but if you've been with me long enough, you know that I don't like to introduce harmony any sooner than it needs to because you're trying to build it dynamically. So you're gonna wait, actually probably till chorus 2 before you start bringing anything in. So I'm gonna start with the bottom and then I'll go to the top like normal and then we'll be done. So this is verse 2. I don't think the harmony needs to happen at the verses. I just think it's good with just the worship leader getting to introduce this. And the verses are pretty short. All right, the chorus is coming up. Chorus 2. You are with me, Father, you're for me. Fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. I'm never alone, I'm never abandoned. Fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. Make sure you dig for this. All right, so this is the bridge. Also, something to keep in mind is that the song is like almost 9 minutes long, but we have truncated the version to be like a little bit under 6 minutes. So all that we did in terms of our version is that we cut out a lot of the unnecessary tags and bridges and stuff like that. So you'll get all the sections of the song, but it won't be as long. So you'll know how to sing every part of the song. So I would come in here. You're my shelter, you're my keeper, my provider, my protector. You surround me, you're in every step I take. You're the goodness, you're the constant, you're my first love, my whole future. You surround me, you're in every step I take. Chorus. You are with me, Father, you're for me. Fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. I'm never alone, I'm never abandoned. Fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. So it goes into a bunch of tags here. You can decide to stay in or out depending on what your worship leader wants. Conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. So it just does that over again, over again. Fear you'll never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. Fear you'll never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. Fear you'll never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. Here's a bridge 2. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Dig for it. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear. Back to bridge 1. When the Bethel, you're my keeper, you're my provider, my protector. You surround me, you're in every step I take. You're the goodness, you're the constant, you're my first love, my whole future. You surround me, you're in every step I take. Back to that chorus. You are with me, Father, you're for me. Fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. I'm never alone. I'm never abandoned. Fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. And that's where our version ends. So the only thing, if you're listening to the actual demo, the only thing that you're going to notice that's different, other than how long it is that there are a bunch more sections of the tag. Fear will never conquer me, because I belong to Jesus. In the original version, they do that like 16 times. And we just cut it down to about 4, because for us, we know the context we're in, and we know that we're not going to do nearly as much as that. And the same thing is true when it gets to the second bridge, which I guess technically could be considered a vamp, but if you're thinking in terms of song sections, I think it'll be easier to call it bridge. Like if you had an A bridge and a B bridge, that would be the B bridge. That's why I said bridge 2, even though technically the A bridge has 2 parts to it, so that's a little confusing. So I would consider it bridge A, bridge B. Bridge B is, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And so if your worship leader is like, yes, I want, because they may not do, because they also do that part 8 to 16 times, and we only did it like 4 times, and we built it a little bit each time. So let's say you decide that your worship leader says, yes, we want harmony vocalists on this line. You are just coming in as soon as they want you to, and it's just a pretty simple, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Pretty simple. It's pretty low, so you're probably an alto or a guy singer singing this part. Now, granted, of course, if you have not been with me for a long time, you will not know this, but if you have, you know that any part I teach, you can take the octave up or the octave down of that to fit your vocal structure. That's why I don't call my parts alto and soprano or tenor or whatever, because when you're coming to this song, you may be singing this in a very choir-heavy setting. You could be singing this in a setting like my church, which is 3 vocalists, worship leaders, and then a harmony vocalist. And so depending on your setup, you could be singing it where you're just 2 worship leaders, and this is not the song you're leading on. So you're singing harmony for this as the only harmony vocalist for that set. So there's so many different ways you could approach any song that I teach on my channel, which is why I don't do it by part, because some people don't know if they're a soprano or alto, but they can hear the lower part and be like, oh, that's where I live. Or they hear the lower part and they're like, I could sing that the octave up and it would feel really comfortable for me. So I do it like that, so you can really just hear how the parts sound no matter what layering of your vocals you have structure wise. You just find what part you live best with vocally and adapt it to your structure. So if you've got 2 other people singing and one of them is a guy and they're going to feel really comfortable singing this in their octave, then they can have this part. And then the top part is going to feel much more comfortable for you if you're a female, potentially, because this is in the key of A, which is one of the more typical keys for guys to sing this in. Now, if you're doing this song in the key of D, which is a female key, the structure of vocals might feel different. You may end up saying, I'm a female and I'm singing harmony on this song in a female key. You may want a higher harmony situated lower, if that makes sense. So you may take a higher harmony that I teach and sing it the octave lower in order for it to fit. So that does sound confusing probably to some of you, but if you have questions, you're welcome to drop comments below, and I can always try to explain more. But I figured I would start off the year giving that disclaimer, because this song has a lot of places where you could imagine it feeling too low, and then I would just tell you to take the octave up of this part if you feel like this is already sitting low for you, because the top part that I'm about to do in a separate video may feel too high for you. Now, alternatively, you could listen to the top part and say, oh, this is too high in this octave, but you know what? I can do this in the bottom octave, or I can take this and take it down the octave. So just little fun things to keep in mind as you are navigating and learning your harmony vocal and strengthening it. So that's it for the bottom part. Hopefully it was clear. If not, you can drop questions down below. And if you're looking for the top part of this song, stay tuned and I'll link it in the description box. See ya.